There is this massive misconception out there right now, and I really want to shatter it for you right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah. The AI easy button myth.
Exactly. People think the hard part of making line stickers with AI is just, getting the image generation right. You type a prompt into your tool of choice, out pops a cute dog drinking coffee, and boom, you are a digital artist ready to cash in.
Right. Like, that's all it takes.
But I'm telling you, typing prompts is actually the absolute easiest part of this entire process. The real bottlenecks, the things that will completely derail your project, are so much more technical.
Oh, for sure. Things like maintaining rigid character consistency across 40 different images.
Yeah, and getting a proper, mathematically true, transparent PNG output,
Hmm.
matching exact subpixel sticker dimensions, making sure your text is actually readable.
Navigating the mandatory AI labeling rules, which is huge right now.
Right. Avoiding accidental copyright infringement and ultimately just surviving the dreaded review risk from the marketplace.
It is a total gauntlet. I mean, the initial image generation isn't the finish line. It's barely the starting gun.
And that is the mission for today's deep dive. We are taking you from a total zero concept all the way to a line creator's market draft-ready package.
Which is a very specific, very polished state to be in.
Right. But here is the payoff you need to hear right now before we go any further.
Yeah.
AI alone will not get you published without human oversight.
Never.
Here are the 5 checkpoints before you submit.
Treating these as sequential, non-negotiable hurdles is, well, it's the only way to avoid a very swift rejection email from the review team.
So let's just lay the foundation. We start by building a blueprint, which is checkpoint 1.
Right, the setup phase.
Yeah. Use a large language model, something like GPT-4o or Google Gemini, to define your entire sticker pack before you ever generate a single pixel of art.
You're doing the pre-production.
Exactly. You ask the text AI to build a character sheet, dream up catchphrases, map out the different emotions, build a whole 40 sticker list, and define what the sources call forbidden directions.
Which is such an important term.
I look at this phase like making a movie, right? Generating AI images without a solid text-based plan is like hiring a brilliant, highly paid actor before you've even written the script.
Yeah, you're just going to get chaos.
You can yell action all you want, and you'll get a lot of dramatic performances, but they'll be completely useless to a cohesive final product.
Because that actor needs parameters, right? They need motivation, and more importantly, they need boundaries.
Okay, but I do want to push back on the mechanics of this a little bit, specifically those forbidden directions.
Sure, lay it on me.
If I know I want a cute dog drinking coffee, isn't it significantly faster to just pour all my prompt engineering into describing exactly what I do want? Like, why waste precious context window space explicitly listing out all the things the AI shouldn't do?
I get that. It feels totally counterintuitive to spend time on the negative space. But those forbidden directions are your absolute first line of defense against a platform policy strike.
Okay, how so?
Well, we have to look at how these diffusion models and large language models actually operate under the hood. They are trained on vast, terabyte-sized scrapings of internet data.
Right, they've basically read the whole internet.
Exactly. Which means their neural networks heavily weight toward what is already culturally popular. If you just ask an AI to draw a cute cartoon mouse or a helpful office worker pet, its default instinct is to pull from the densest clusters of data it has in its latent space.
Oh, I see. Which means it's going to gravitate toward the most famous versions of those things.
It is going to drift straight toward Disney or Sanrio or Nintendo.
Yikes. Yeah, that's a problem.
A huge problem. Without aggressive negative constraints, that cute mouse might end up wearing iconic white gloves and yellow shoes. Or your office bunny becomes a dead ringer for one of the official Line Friends mascots.
And Line is definitely going to notice if you copy their own mascots.
Oh, instantly. So you aren't just brainstorming with the LLM, you are using it to build a rigid prompt template, a specific phrase list, and an expression matrix.
So you tell the text AI to actually write negative prompts for you.
Yes, precisely. When you establish forbidden directions, you explicitly instruct the text AI to inject negative prompts into your final image generation prompts. Things like, do not include recognizable brand logos, do not use a Pixar 3D aesthetic, do not mimic Studio Ghibli art styles.
You are basically fencing in the AI so it doesn't absent-mindedly wander into a massive intellectual property lawsuit while just trying to please you.
Fencing it in is a great way to visualize it. You are building a safe sandbox. Because honestly, the worst thing that can happen is that you generate a character design, you fall completely in love with it, you build 40 stickers around it, and then you realize its visual DNA is entirely ripped from a copyrighted anime.
That would be devastating.
Oh,
Okay, so checkpoint 2. You have your script, your prompt matrix, and your fences built.
yeah.
Now you actually need the actor to perform consistently.
Right, time to make the art.
You take that blueprint and feed it into an image generator, Midjourney, Gemini, DLE, whatever you need to produce your expression drafts. But here is the core frustration. I think literally anyone who has played with AI art has experienced the consistency problem.
It's the bane of every creator's existence.
How on earth do you keep the character from turning into a completely different creature every time its expression changes? In panel 1, my coffee-drinking dog has perny ears and green eyes.
Oh, cute!
But then in panel 2, it's smiling, but suddenly it has floppy ears, blue eyes, and, like, an extra toe.
Yeah, the classic AI extra limbs.
You can't submit a sticker pack where the main character looks like 6 different breeds of dog.
No, you really can't. The technical challenge of repeated character identity is arguably the highest wall creators hit. To understand how to beat it, you have to remember that AI image generators don't have an inherent memory of the character they just drew for you 5 seconds ago.
Right. It starts fresh every time.
Exactly. Every time you hit enter, the model is resolving an image out of a field of static noise. To force consistency, every single generated sticker candidate must be aggressively anchored back to your original reference sheet.
And we aren't just talking about typing the same text description again. You have to use the actual tools built into the platforms, right?
Yes.
Things like feeding the generated seed number back into the prompt or using specific character reference parameters.
That is the mechanical secret right there. If you are using Midjourney, for instance, you are utilizing the --cref, the character reference parameter, and you point it directly at the URL of your base character sheet.
Okay.
And you are adjusting the character weight parameter, the --crejuvu, to dictate how strictly the AI adheres to the original clothing versus just the face.
Right, because for a sticker, you might want them in a different outfit but the same face.
Exactly. Now, if you are in ChatGPT using Day, you are keeping the entire generation process confined to a single continuous chat window.
So it remembers the context.
Yes, so the model retains the context of the previous images, and you are constantly uploading your base image and commanding the AI to reference it exclusively.
Even with those tools, though, it's still a chaotic process. I mean, the AI is always going to try to give you variations you didn't ask for.
Always. It loves to improvise. And this actually brings up a very practical reality regarding the tools themselves. While the free tiers of platforms like Google Gemini or ChatGPT might be enough for small batches or, initial concept art, you quickly run into severe infrastructure limitations.
Like running out of credits.
Right. Usage quotas, generation timeouts, and server load balancing can just abruptly cut you off.
So you hit a wall halfway through your 40 stickers because you ran out of free prompts for the day.
Yep.
And when you log back in tomorrow, the session has tanned out, the context window has degraded, and getting the exact same dog style back is like pulling teeth.
It breaks your flow entirely. The key workflow takeaway here is to use the AI for rapid variation, but you, the human, must act as a ruthless casting director.
Ruthless is a good word for it.
You have to be. If the AI hands you an image where the eye shape slightly changed, or the shading style suddenly went from flat vector to a 3D render, you discard it.
Don't try to fix it.
No, do not waste an hour trying to manually paint over a bad AI hallucination in Photoshop to fix it. Reject it, adjust your prompt weights, and generate again until it perfectly matches your established visual anchor.
You really have to train yourself not to settle. Okay, let's move to checkpoint 3. Let's assume you've wrestled the AI into submission. You have 40 beautifully consistent dogs. You think you're done. You are not.
Not even close.
Because now you have to take those beautiful JPEGs and force them through what I call the spec trap.
The spec trap, I like that.
You have to prepare the main sticker images, the chat tab thumbnail, and the main store image, all according to Line's unforgiving formatting laser grid.
And it really is a laser grid.
It is. It's not just about having a nice picture. It is about the technical reality of how messaging apps render data. And the absolute biggest trap here is transparency.
Oh, without a doubt. The transparency requirement catches a staggering percentage of new creators off guard.
Yeah.
The final files must be transparent PNGs. But we really need to clarify what that actually means on a data level. It does not mean a character drawn on a white background. It means the image file must contain a clean, fully functional alpha channel.
Right. And for those who might not live in Photoshop every day, the alpha channel is basically an invisible layer of mathematical data inside the image file that tells the screen exactly how opaque or see-through every individual pixel should be.
That is a great explanation. AI image generators notoriously struggle to output native files with clean alpha
Right.
channels.
They usually give you a flat JPEG.
They almost always hand you a flattened image with a solid background color, usually white or a soft gradient. You have to take that output into external editing software to strip the background away.
And you can't just use a basic magic wand tool and hit delete.
Oh, please don't do that.
If you do that, you end up destroying the anti-aliasing. And anti-aliasing is those tiny semi-transparent pixels around the edge of your character that make the line art look smooth instead of jagged.
Exactly.
If you indiscriminately delete the white background, those edge pixels retain a white halo. It might look fine on your white canvas in Photoshop, but the second a user sends that sticker in dark mode on their phone, your dog is going to look like it was cut out of a magazine with dull scissors.
It looks cheap. And the review team will immediately flag it for poor quality. You have to use refined background removal tools, feathering, or manual masking to preserve those clean edges.
It's tedious, but necessary.
But securing the alpha channel only gets you past the first laser in the grid. Next, you face the dimensional math.
Oh boy, the size limits.
Yeah, Line has precise dimension requirements for the main image, the chat tab thumbnail, and the stickers themselves, along with strict maximum file sizes for both the individual PNGs and the final ZIP folder.
But the rule that genuinely fascinates me and annoys me is the even pixel requirement.
The even pixel rule. Yes. It dictates that the width and height of every single image you submit must be a number divisible by 2.
Think about the math of that for a second. Why on earth does a messaging app care if my image is 300 pixels wide versus 301 pixels wide?
It sounds totally arbitrary, right?
It really does.
But it comes down to the mechanics of digital downscaling. When someone views your sticker on a massive tablet screen versus a tiny, older smartphone, the app's rendering engine has to scale your image down to fit the display.
Okay, makes sense.
If your image has an odd pixel dimension, say 301 pixels, the algorithm trying to have that size hits a mathematical wall. It hits 150.5 pixels.
And screens cannot display half a pixel.
Exactly. So the rendering engine has to guess. It interpolates the colors, which creates subpixel blurring or visual artifacts along the edges of your art. Line enforces even pixel dimensions to guarantee that your artwork scales crisply and cleanly across millions of different devices.
Okay, that is actually a brilliant technical constraint, but it is incredibly frustrating if you aren't paying attention.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you have the safe margins. Line requires about 10 pixels of empty, transparent padding around your artwork.
Yep, the breathing room.
If your dog's tail bleeds into that invisible border, it risks overlapping with the chat bubbles or the edge of the user's screen UI. So a 301 pixel wide image or an elbow crossing the invisible margin results in an automatic rejection.
It's ruthless.
You really start to see why AI can't do this alone. Which brings us to checkpoint 4, the next massive hurdle. The legal and policy minefield.
This is where creators carry the most risk, by far.
We talked earlier about fencing the AI in with forbidden directions, but let's talk about the accidental similarity hallucination.
Okay, yeah.
Say I do everything right, I set my negative prompts,
Mhm.
but the AI just hallucinates a detail. It gives my coffee-drinking dog a baseball cap, and the logo on that cap looks 90% identical to the New York Yankees logo.
Oh, a classic AI slip-up.
If I don't catch it and I submit that pack, does the creator, meaning me, actually get in trouble, or is the AI company liable?
You bear the entire responsibility, period.
Wow.
Yes. There is a very dangerous assumption in the creator community right now that if an AI generated the image, the output is somehow legally clean by default, or that the tech giant who built the model is shielding you.
Because they made the tool.
Right, but that is absolutely false. If you read the terms of service for OpenAI or Google Generative AI, they explicitly state that while you own the output, you assume all liability for how you use it. You are the publisher.
The terms of use literally say you are responsible for ensuring the content doesn't violate any applicable laws. You cannot point the finger at ChatGPT and tell the line review team, hey, the robot drew the copyrighted logo, not me.
The review team does not care who held the brush. AI generation does not clear copyright, trademark, likeness, or publicity rights.
That's all on you.
And it goes deeper than just famous logos. You cannot use official brand mascots. You cannot use celebrity likenesses.
Yeah.
And importantly for this platform, you cannot submit art that subtly copies another specific creator's highly recognizable sticker style.
Wait, really? Style copying is enforced?
Yes. The review team is actively looking for stylistic infringement just as intensely as they look for direct IP theft.
That's fascinating. And then there's the text issue. Anyone who has used an image generator knows that AI is notoriously terrible at rendering actual language.
Yeah.
It produces what people call spaghetti text.
It is so bizarre to look at.
It really is.
The model understands the visual shape and structure of typography, but it doesn't always comprehend the linguistic meaning. So it generates letter forms that look perfectly like English or Japanese from 10 feet away, but when you zoom in, they are completely meaningless alien scribbles.
And from a policy standpoint, why does that trigger a rejection? I mean, besides just looking weird.
Because line stickers are, at their core, communication tools. The platform policies strictly forbid nonsensical or confusing content.
Right.
If a user sends a sticker to say good morning, and the text hovering over the character is a jumble of unreadable glyphs, it ruins the user experience.
So what's the fix?
The most reliable workflow to survive this policy check is to have the AI generate your character completely text-free.
Just the art.
Just the art. You take that clean, transparent PNG into a vector program like Illustrator or Figma, and you manually type the typography yourself. It guarantees spelling accuracy, ensures crisp text rendering at small sizes, and completely eliminates the risk of a policy strike for spaghetti text.
That makes total sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we have built the blueprint, we have anchored the character identity, we have survived the pixel math of the laser grid, and we have policed the legal and linguistic elements.
We've done a lot.
We really have. That brings us to checkpoint 5, the final polish. All the generation is done. You are sitting at your computer looking at a folder full of 40 cropped size, perfectly transparent images. How do you actually know you are ready to hit that upload button?
This is where you have to orchestrate a very intentional context shift. You take off your creator hat and you put on your auditor hat.
Okay, the auditor.
You open that folder and you manually review every single file against the platform's requirements. You are evaluating clear emotion. If sticker number 12 is supposed to convey, "I'm sorry," does the dog's body language instantly read as apologetic, or does it just look vaguely sleepy?
Right, because if the person receiving the message in a chaotic group chat has to spend 3 seconds guessing what the emotion is, the sticker has failed its primary function.
Exactly that. You also check the visual scale. You might be reviewing these files on a 27-inch 4K desktop monitor, but you have to mentally shrink them down.
Because they're going to be tiny on a phone.
Yes. Is the text you added still readable when the image is only an inch wide on a mobile screen? Did you maintain the safe crop margins? Are you mathematically certain every single background is a true alpha channel and not just a white square that snuck past your editing phase?
You literally have to click through them one by one, inspecting the pixel data.
One by one. Don't skip any. And the final step of this audit is navigating platform compliance. Under the current line creators market rules, you have to address the AI-generated content disclosure.
Oh, right, the checkboxes.
Marketplaces are increasingly implementing mandatory checkboxes requiring creators to declare if generative AI was used in the creation pipeline. You must be completely transparent and compliant with those declarations.
You can't just hide it.
No, you can't. I cannot stress this enough. AI cannot grade its own homework effectively enough for a commercial store submission. It requires a human auditor to make the final call.
That is such a crucial reality check. And honestly, we need to take a moment right now to just be fiercely practical about this whole endeavor.
Let's do it.
We have unpacked the technical, legal, and structural hoops you have to jump through, but we need to explicitly clarify what this entire workflow actually produces. Following these 5 steps gets you a draft-ready package. It does not guarantee you an accepted product.
That distinction is so vital. There are absolutely no promises in this process.
None. There is no promise of approval from the review team. There is no promise of instant income or magical passive revenue flowing into your bank account. And there's certainly no algorithmic shortcuts to bypass the human reviewers on line's end.
They are very thorough.
AI is an incredible tool. It drastically speeds up your ideation phase and gives you massive visual variation in seconds. But it is just a speed boost. The meticulous manual cleanup, the strict pixel math, and the legal compliance checks we just walked through are what actually dictate whether your sticker pack ever sees the light of day.
Exactly.
If you approach this thinking you can just batch generate 40 prompts, throw them in a ZIP file, and auto-upload them to the portal, you are setting yourself up for a very frustrating wall of rejection emails.
It has to be viewed as a partnership. The AI handles the heavy lifting of rendering complex pixels, but you, the human, must do the heavy lifting of curation, formatting, and legal compliance.
You are stepping into the role of the art director, the legal department, and the quality assurance tester all at once.
It's a lot of hats.
It really is. And listen, if you are sitting there right now thinking, okay, I understand the prep, I have my draft-ready package of 40 perfect PNGs, but what actually happens when I log into the Line portal? What specific buttons do I push, and what forms do I fill out? Then you need to hit subscribe on your podcast app right now.
You won't want to miss it.
Because in our very next deep dive, we are going to break down the full click-by-click submission and portal checklist for launching your first sticker pack into the wild. We'll walk you through the actual dashboard interface.
It is the natural progression once your files are truly compliant. But, connecting all of this back to the broader landscape of generative AI, looking at how fast these image models are evolving, there is a fascinating concept to mull over.
Oh, what's that?
Well, we spend all this time trying to wrangle the AI into perfect consistency, right? And the models themselves are rapidly perfecting the art of the flawless image. The lighting is becoming hyper-realistic, the vector lines are getting impossibly crisp, the weird artifacts are disappearing.
They're getting too good.
Exactly. But digital stickers, historically, have always been about raw, relatable human emotion. If we are rapidly approaching a horizon where AI can flawlessly execute any prompt without a single error or hallucination, what if the secret to a truly viral, best-selling sticker pack in the future isn't AI perfection, but the strange, quirky, uniquely human imperfections that an AI is actually being trained to filter out?
Oh, wow. That is such a great point. Think about that cute dog drinking coffee from the very beginning.
Yeah.
If the AI renders it with absolute mathematical symmetry, it might just look like a boring stock photo. But if you manually tweak it, if you leave a slightly wonky eye or an asymmetrical ear or a messy hand-drawn font, maybe that imperfection is what actually connects us to each other in a chat window.
It's that human touch.
Something to think about while you're counting your pixels and checking your alpha channels. Keep diving deep, and we'll catch you next time.